My beloved child, the air has grown heavy, and the silence between you both feels like a storm waiting to break. Their eyes search for answers, but your quietness leaves them drowning in their own thoughts. Every heartbeat carries a weight, pulling them deeper into uncertainty and fear. Your stillness is not weakness, it is power, because in that pause, they are forced to face their own hidden truths. They expected you to chase, to plead, to crumble under the pressure of their actions. Instead, your distance is making them realize the emptiness of their choices. They replay every memory, every word, every silence, trying to decode what your withdrawal means. And with every second that passes, they begin to understand that the decision is no longer in your hands, but in theirs. A strange tension grows inside them, because they know your silence is not indifference, it is the calm before a revelation that will change everything. Type Amen to get blessing 333. Your restraint has left them sleepless, wandering in circles with regret burning in their chest. They thought you would cling, but you are standing firm, watching them struggle with the weight of their own choices. The distance between you has become a mirror, forcing them to see themselves in ways they once avoided. They are beginning to realize that silence can be louder than words, and your quiet has become a message they cannot escape. Each day, their mind trembles under the weight of what they might lose if they don't act now. Archangel Michael says, the moment of clarity is closer than you think, and your silence is guiding them toward it. What they thought was control is slipping, because the decision has been handed back to them in the most unexpected way. The distance you hold is not punishment, but a test, and they are beginning to feel its intensity more than anything else they've known. Type Amen to get blessing 444. They stand at the edge of choice, torn between pride and surrender. Your quietness has carved deep cracks into their heart, forcing them to admit the truth they have been hiding. Even if they try to turn away, the silence chases them like a shadow, never letting them rest. Your absence is teaching them the value of your presence. Every memory of you returns like lightning, reminding them that no one else carries the same light. The longer they wait, the stronger the storm grows inside them, pushing them toward a decision they cannot avoid. Your distance is writing a story they never wanted to read, but one they now cannot put down. And in the end, they know the silence will demand an answer, whether they are ready or not. Type Amen to get blessing 555. They thought silence would mean they had the upper hand, but instead it has placed them in a prison of their own making. Every passing hour feels heavier, because your distance is not empty, it is full of meaning they cannot deny. They sense something shifting beyond their control, and it frightens them more than your words ever could. The walls around their pride are cracking, because your silence has turned into a reflection of their own guilt. They hear echoes of every choice they made, and each one feels sharper now that you refuse to chase. Your distance has become the loudest answer they never expected. In the quiet, they begin to see the truth. They were waiting for you to break, but instead it is them who are breaking. Their strength is draining away as they realize you will not bend anymore. The silence you carry has become their deepest fear. Archangel Michael says, your strength is written in this silence, and heaven is watching as they wrestle with their decision. They cannot hide forever, because the stillness around you is guiding them toward a moment they cannot escape. Type Amen to get blessing 666. The tension is unbearable now, like a string pulled too tight, ready to snap. They are haunted by dreams of you walking away completely, and each dream feels like a warning they cannot ignore. Their chest grows heavy because your silence feels permanent, and it terrifies them. They keep replaying the past, hoping to find a reason to justify their choices. But every memory only pushes them deeper into regret, because your absence reveals the truth more clearly than your presence ever did. The silence is changing them in ways they cannot stop. They realize now that you are not chasing, not begging, not pleading, because you know your worth. This frightens them, because it means the choice is no longer yours to make. It is theirs, and they know time is running out. Your quietness is no longer something they can overlook, because it echoes louder than any words they ever expected. They stand frozen, knowing one wrong step could cost them everything. Type Amen to get blessing 777. The distance between you is heavy, yet it carries a sacred power. It is teaching them the value of what they once took for granted. They thought your silence was weakness, but now they see it as strength they cannot fight. Every second stretches into eternity, reminding them of what they stand to lose. They wonder if they waited too long, if your silence is already the end they feared. Still, they hesitate, trembling in the face of their own indecision. Your silence is forcing them to confront their truth, and it hurts more than any battle they have fought before. They cannot escape it, cannot silence it, cannot control it. The decision weighs heavy in their chest, pressing down until it becomes unbearable. The silence is no longer yours, it is theirs. It belongs to them now, and it is demanding an answer they cannot avoid. Type Amen to get blessing 888. They wake up each morning with the weight of your silence pressing on their chest. The absence of your voice, your touch, your reassurance has turned into a haunting echo that follows them everywhere. They never expected that your decision to stay silent would shake them this deeply. Every corner of their day reminds them of you, the coffee that tastes bitter without your laughter, the evenings that stretch endlessly without your presence. They thought they could handle the distance, but instead, it is unraveling them from the inside. Your stillness has forced them into confrontation with themselves. They are torn between pride and surrender, between holding back and rushing toward you. Your silence has left them no middle ground, it is all or nothing now. They are realizing that time is slipping, and soon the decision will be taken from them. Archangel Michael says, "Heaven has placed you in this silence not as punishment, but as a mirror." They must face the reflection of who they have become, and the truth cannot be hidden any longer. Type Amen to get blessing 999. Nights are the hardest for them, because the quiet hours magnify your absence. They lie awake, staring at the ceiling, wondering how they allowed it all to come to this. The silence has become louder than any argument, louder than any excuse. They reach for their phone, tempted to break the distance, but fear holds them back. They know once they speak, everything changes forever. Your quiet strength terrifies them, because it shows them that you are no longer at their mercy. Your silence has become a boundary, an invisible wall that forces them to take responsibility. They are realizing this decision cannot be postponed anymore. Their heart is pounding because they know the next move will determine everything. Their mind races, torn between confessing the truth or watching it all slip away. The silence grows heavier, pressing them toward the edge of choice. Type Amen to get blessing 111. They never expected that you would be the one to turn away so calmly. They thought you would chase, beg, or cry, but instead you became untouchable in your quiet. That shift has broken their certainty into fragments. Now, every time they see your distance, they feel the sting of regret sharper than ever. Their pride is melting, replaced by fear of losing what they never thought they could. The silence is eating away at their illusions, leaving only the raw truth behind. They are desperate, but still frozen. They know the decision is theirs, but their hesitation is poisoning every moment. The silence leaves them cornered, forcing them to face what they have avoided for too long. Your stillness has become their storm, and they cannot outrun it. Every breath feels heavier, reminding them that the final choice must be made soon. Type Amen to get blessing 222. They are restless, walking the floor at night, feeling the echo of your silence in every corner of their mind. Their heart beats too fast, as though it is trying to escape the cage of regret. The stillness you left behind is louder than thunder in their ears. Every message they think of sending is written and deleted 100 times. They fear your silence more than your anger, because anger can be soothed but silence is final. Their soul trembles, because they see the power you hold without saying a single word. Your distance has become a lesson they cannot ignore. It shows them what life would be like without you, and that vision terrifies them. They know now that the decision belongs to them alone, and there is no more time to stall. Archangel Michael says, destiny is pushing them to the edge, and soon their choice will be revealed before heaven itself. The silence is a bridge they must cross, and every step shakes their spirit. Type Amen to get blessing 333. They remember the laughter, the warmth, the comfort of your presence. Those memories haunt them now, turning into sharp reminders of what they are losing. The silence between you feels like a grave they cannot climb out of. Their pride is crumbling day by day, replaced with raw desperation. They cannot sleep, cannot focus, cannot pretend anymore. The weight of the silence has broken their false strength and left them vulnerable. They want to rush back, but fear your rejection. They want to confess, but fear it may be too late. The silence leaves them standing at the doorway, unable to move forward yet unwilling to turn away. Every heartbeat feels like a countdown, pressing them closer to a final decision. They know your distance will not last forever, and if they wait, they may lose you for good. Type Amen to get blessing 444. They hold conversations with you in their head, speaking words they are too afraid to send. In the quiet, they imagine your voice, but it only deepens the ache. The silence is no longer absence, it is a mirror showing them everything they denied. Your stillness has become their greatest teacher. It shows them what real strength looks like, strength that does not need to shout, does not need to beg. They see you standing firm, and it shakes the foundations of their pride. Their tears fall in secret, because they do not want anyone to see how broken they are becoming. They thought you would collapse first, but instead it is them who can no longer bear the silence. The distance has stripped them of excuses, leaving nothing but the truth. The decision is theirs, and they know if they wait longer, the silence will make the choice for them. Type Amen to get blessing 555. Every place they go reminds them of you. The streets feel colder, the nights longer, and the days duller without your light. They never thought silence could turn the whole world gray, but now it has. They replay every mistake, every careless word, every moment they failed you. The silence amplifies it all until it becomes unbearable. Their own thoughts turn against them, forcing them to face the consequences. They know now that you are no longer chasing, no longer bending. Your silence has crowned you with strength, and they feel smaller each time they see it. Their heart aches, because they realize the weight of losing you is greater than their pride. They are standing on the edge of choice, trembling. The silence is squeezing them, pushing them closer to admitting what they have always known. Type Amen to get blessing 666. They move through each day like a shadow, carrying the weight of your silence on their shoulders. Every step feels heavier, every thought louder, because your quiet has become the one voice they cannot escape. Their pride is shattered, and what remains is a heart trembling in uncertainty. They thought they had time, they thought you would wait, but your distance has taught them that time is running out. The silence is no longer just a pause, it is a warning. Each second they waste feels like a door closing, and the sound echoes deep in their soul. They can no longer pretend they are in control. The power shifted the moment you chose not to argue, not to chase, but to stand still. That choice has left them powerless, staring at the truth with nowhere to hide. Archangel Michael says, this silence has been placed to awaken them, to make them face what they have ignored. Their decision will determine whether they step into redemption or fall into regret. Type Amen to get blessing 777. The nights grow longer, restless, filled with visions of what could be lost. They wake with heavy eyes, carrying the burden of unsaid words and undone actions. Your quietness has carved a hollow in their chest, one that nothing else can fill. They walk past places you once shared together, and the memories strike like lightning. They realize now how fragile those moments were, how precious, and how easily they can slip away forever. Regret clings to them, refusing to let go. The silence is not just between you, it is inside them. It beats in their chest, louder than their own heart, demanding they choose before it is too late. Their hesitation has become their prison, and your distance is the key they cannot reach. Each day without your voice feels like a year. They understand now that silence is not weakness, it is the storm before the final shift. Type Amen to get blessing 888. They try to distract themselves, but nothing works. The silence follows them everywhere, lingering in every song, every word, every empty space. It is inescapable, and they are crumbling under its weight. They scroll through old conversations, reading your words like sacred fragments. Their chest tightens as they realize how much they overlooked, how much they risk losing. The silence has turned those messages into lifelines they cling to desperately. Every attempt to move forward feels empty, because without you, nothing has meaning. Their world is cracked, and no amount of pretending can seal the breaks. The silence is the truth that no illusion can cover. They know deep inside that the decision is theirs, and if they delay any longer, it will destroy them. Their silence cannot match yours, it is heavier, darker, filled with regret they cannot outrun. Type Amen to get blessing 999. Their mind is at war, torn between the comfort of pride and the ache of surrender. They thought silence meant strength, but now they see it has made them weak. The longer they avoid the truth, the more the silence devours them. Your distance has become a mirror, forcing them to see their flaws with painful clarity. They see the cracks in their choices, the scars of their mistakes, and the emptiness left behind. No escape remains, only the decision waiting to be made. Tears come uninvited, hidden from the world but burning in their soul. They never thought your silence would reduce them to this, but it has broken through every defense. The silence has become their greatest punishment. Archangel Michael says, "Heaven is waiting for their choice, and your silence has already written the first chapter. What follows will depend entirely on their courage, or their fear." Type Amen to get blessing 111. They wander between memories and reality, unable to separate the two. Every glance backward fills them with longing, every step forward feels uncertain. Your silence has made the ground beneath them tremble. They wonder if you still think of them, but the silence gives no answer. That emptiness eats away at their soul, reminding them that you will not always wait. The choice is burning closer, and their hesitation is killing them slowly. The distance is no longer just physical, it is spiritual, emotional, and unshakable. They feel it wrapping around them like chains, reminding them that they must act before it is too late. Their silence cannot protect them anymore. They are standing at the edge, staring into the unknown. The silence is pushing them forward, demanding the decision they feared most. Type Amen to get blessing 222. They are unraveling slowly, piece by piece, as your silence wraps tighter around their soul. What once felt like control now feels like suffocation, because the stillness between you holds more truth than their words ever did. Their chest aches with a heaviness they can no longer hide. The world around them feels dimmer, colors fading into gray, because without your voice, nothing carries meaning. They thought they could distance themselves without consequence, but now they see that silence is the loudest consequence of all. Each second without you is a reminder of the choice they still have not made. They try to bury themselves in distractions, but every attempt only circles back to you. Your distance echoes in everything, every song, every conversation, every empty space they walk through. They cannot run from what silence has forced them to face. Archangel Michael says, "This silence has been given to shake them awake, to strip away illusions and pride until nothing but truth remains." And now, the moment of decision is closer than ever. Type Amen to get blessing 333. At night, they clutch their phone, staring at your name but unable to press send. Fear grips them, fear that you may not answer, fear that your silence is permanent. The hesitation burns them more deeply than rejection ever could. They replay your laughter in their mind, the way it once softened every storm. Without it, the nights feel endless and sharp, slicing into their heart with regret. Your silence has become the wound they cannot heal. Each dream they have is haunted by you walking away. In those dreams, you never look back, and the pain lingers even after waking. They are beginning to realize that these visions are warnings. Their pride has become their enemy. The silence is forcing them to choose between breaking it or watching everything collapse beyond repair. Type Amen to get blessing 444. The days pass like shadows, blending into one another, empty and unfulfilling. Even in crowded rooms, they feel alone, because your absence overshadows everything else. The silence has created a void that nothing can fill. They are tormented by memories, each one flashing like lightning. Every smile, every touch, every moment with you feels like a treasure slipping through their fingers. Regret swallows them whole, and still, they hesitate. Your silence has become a battlefield where they are losing every fight. Their excuses no longer matter, their pride no longer protects them. The distance is stripping them of everything they thought they knew. They cannot escape the truth any longer. The silence demands an answer, and the answer can no longer be delayed. Type Amen to get blessing 555. They wander in circles, restless, their heart pounding with guilt. The silence is not just quiet, it is judgment, reflection, consequence. It has become the mirror showing them the depth of their mistakes. They thought they could test your patience, but instead they are being tested. They thought they could control the distance, but now it controls them. Each day without you is a punishment sharper than words. Tears come when no one is watching, tears they never thought they would shed. The silence is breaking them in ways nothing else ever could. It is teaching them the value of what they lost when they let pride lead. The decision is no longer far away, it is here, pressing against their chest, demanding to be made. And they know if they do not act, the silence will make the choice for them. Type Amen to get blessing 666. They cannot speak of this to anyone, because no one else would understand. The silence is something only they can feel, something only they can answer. It isolates them, forcing them deeper into themselves. Everywhere they turn, reminders of you appear. A fragrance, a song, a fleeting memory, it all returns, stronger now that your presence is gone. The silence magnifies everything, making each reminder sharper. They try to imagine life without you, but it feels unbearable. Your absence has left scars they cannot hide. The silence is making them see that nothing else could ever replace you. They stand trembling at the edge, knowing that soon the silence will end one way or another. The decision is theirs, but heaven is watching closely. Type Amen to get blessing 777. They wake before dawn, the silence pressing harder than sleep ever could. Their body feels heavy, yet their mind races, replaying every moment they wasted. Your distance has become a constant reminder that choices have consequences. They thought silence would fade with time, but instead it has grown stronger. It is no longer absence. It is a force, a presence that fills every empty corner. They cannot breathe without feeling the weight of what they might lose. Every reflection they see feels distorted, because the silence has turned into a mirror. It shows them who they truly are, stripped of excuses and pride. That truth terrifies them more than any words you could ever speak. Archangel Michael says, "The silence was never meant to break you, it was meant to build you." But for them, it has become the storm that will decide their fate. Type Amen to get blessing 888. Their nights are restless, filled with shadows that look like you. They hear echoes of your voice in their dreams, only to wake in despair when they realize it was never real. The silence lingers like a ghost, haunting them more with each passing day. They reach for distractions, work, friends, meaningless conversations, but nothing can silence the truth. Everywhere they turn, the emptiness follows, reminding them of the decision they refused to make. The silence grows heavier, louder, unbearable. Their heart is softening now, breaking past the walls they built. Pride is collapsing, leaving only vulnerability. The silence has stripped them bare, forcing them to face the weight of what they truly feel. Every day without action deepens their regret, and regret is a fire they cannot put out. The silence feeds the flames, burning them from within. Type Amen to get blessing 999. They begin to notice signs, small reminders they cannot ignore. A song playing at the right moment, a memory resurfacing out of nowhere, a sudden ache in their chest. Everything around them points back to you, pulling them closer to the truth. The silence is not empty, it is alive, whispering truths they cannot escape. It tells them that time is running out, that hesitation will destroy what they still have left. Each whisper becomes a roar in their mind. They try to fight it, but fighting only makes the silence louder. It surrounds them, consumes them, until surrender feels like the only way forward. And still, they hesitate, trapped between fear and desire. Your distance has created a space they cannot fill with anyone else. No matter how they try, the silence always wins. Type Amen to get blessing 111. The days blend into one another, a blur of routine that feels lifeless without you. They once thought they were strong enough to endure, but the silence has proven them wrong. It has broken them in ways they never imagined. They stand in front of a mirror, staring into their own eyes, seeing the exhaustion carved into their face. They realize the silence has aged them, drained them, left them hollow. Without you, even their reflection feels unfamiliar. The decision presses against their heart now, unavoidable and heavy. They know your silence is not endless, that soon it will close like a final door. The thought terrifies them, yet it pushes them to act. Archangel Michael says, silence is sacred, but it is not eternal. It is the pause before destiny demands an answer. That answer is almost here. Type Amen to get blessing 222. They finally understand the truth, the silence was never punishment. It was revelation. It was the lesson they needed but refused to learn until now. Your distance has become their teacher, showing them the depth of love, the cost of pride, and the fragility of time. They see it clearly now, and the weight of clarity crushes them. Their heart is ready, trembling, desperate for release. They know the choice is no longer something to delay. The silence has brought them to the edge, and from here, there is no turning back. The next step they take will decide everything. And as they stand in that stillness, trembling, they realize the silence was never about distance, it was about awakening. Type Amen to get blessing 333. They are trembling now, because the silence has carried them to the very edge. It is no longer something they can avoid, it surrounds them, pressing in from every side. Every heartbeat feels like a drumbeat pushing them closer to the truth. The weight of unspoken words is crushing them. They never thought silence could speak louder than screams, but now it does. It tells them that your patience has limits, that your strength will not wait forever. They are finally seeing what they tried to deny, you are not the one losing in this silence. They are. You stand taller, stronger, untouched, while they sink deeper into regret. The distance has crowned you, but it has chained them. Archangel Michael says, the silence has already chosen its side. It stands with truth, and truth always wins. Type Amen to get blessing 444. They walk into familiar places, but nothing feels the same. The silence follows like a shadow, whispering memories into every corner. It feels as though the whole world has turned against them, reflecting their own mistakes. They feel time slipping, like sand falling too fast through their hands. Each day of silence feels like a warning bell, counting down to an ending they fear but cannot stop. They know that soon the choice will be made for them. Your strength in this stillness is unshakable. You have shown them that you will not break, and that power terrifies them. They thought silence would weaken you, but instead it has revealed their weakness. The distance grows heavier, and their heart cannot carry it much longer. Type Amen to get blessing 555. They sit alone, hands trembling, realizing how fragile their pride truly is. Pride promised them power, but silence has stripped that illusion away. All that remains is a heart that wants what it may have already lost. Their tears fall in secret, hidden from the world, because they don't want anyone to see how broken they have become. But heaven sees, and the silence carries their cries into the unseen. The more they try to hide, the louder the silence becomes. Each memory of you feels like fire in their chest, burning away the lies they once believed. They can no longer pretend they don't need you. The silence has proven the truth, they do. The choice has become unbearable now, and their hesitation is a wound that will not close. Type Amen to get blessing 666. They stand at a crossroads, trembling. One path is silence forever, the other is breaking down every wall of pride. They know they cannot stand here much longer. Every sign points toward you, yet fear still holds them back. The silence has brought them to this place, where every excuse is gone. Only courage remains, or regret. The air feels heavy with destiny, as though heaven itself is watching. They sense it, deep in their bones, the moment is near. Their heart pounds faster, knowing that silence cannot hold forever. Archangel Michael says, the heavens are waiting for the sound of truth to break the silence. The final moment approaches. Type Amen to get blessing 777.